more day.
Still raining or no?
No.
No, it's still.
That's what you'll learn too. We get.
That was not 5 minutes yesterday, Dwayne.
It was like 10.
That was a lot yesterday.
They flooded and everything.
Flood and everything.
Right,
And it came back, right?
Right.
It's weird when we get more than a day in a row.
Well, it did rain today too, right? They said.
A little
I wasn't that bad.
bit.
It'll pass.
Yeah. Soon enough.
I understand there was a scrimmage today, and how did that go? You think?
Went well. I think it was our plan just to install our principles, our base on both sides of the ball. The first day, second day, play a little bit. And today we told them ahead of time that this was a scrimmage day, split up into two teams, and we got after it. It was really, really competitive, even today, to the end.
Curious, I asked you about Mark yesterday, but is he getting any on-court work at all at this point?
Yeah, I think it's the same, Dwayne, that we talked about. I think we got a plan for him. He's in a good place. Did an unbelievable job all summer. In the summer, it was a lot of just strengthening overall, mobility, flexibility. I think he's in a good place. And, I think what we want Mark to know is we care about him this year and going forward. So we have a really intentional plan for him.
So he's not hurt, literally, right?
No, right.
Okay, that's what I'm getting at.
No,
Like,
yeah.
you have an injury.
No.
Right.
When you're evaluating the possession battle, does Grayson stick out to you guys that can help? They're smiling like on the tape last year. I'm sure you saw how he was as a crasher.
Yeah, I think we have multiple guys even from last year's roster. We've emphasized the possession game early in camp. It's multiple layers to it, but one of the pieces is go get it. We don't want to take ourselves out of transition, so Grayson has a job to do as part of that. There are some guys that are designated just to go, but overall, I think at times that we feel it here, even in our scrimmages, how important it is for our team to be really good, rebounding on both sides and taking care of the basketball offensively and forcing turnovers defensively.
Not asking about a specific like offensive rebounding or getting in transition, but like just more as a coach, what are the consistent things you see from a team when they are winning that? Because this team really, really struggled with it the last 2 years.
I think it's those four factors, right? It's like going to the glass, defensive rebounding, and then the turnover battle on both sides. So I think, we will, like we mentioned about the pressure defense. And then defensive rebounding is a staple of everybody's defense. That's nothing new. Offensively, we have a system in place to try to get some extra possessions. And taking care of the basketball, which probably isn't talked about enough yet. We'll see how that goes in preseason. With our multiple guards and multiple playmakers, I assume that'll be tested at times. We're cutting, so our spacing's not perfect. So we'll probably go through some growing pains of that early. But we definitely, I think every team wants more shots than their opponent. That hopefully is one of our competitive advantages.
Coach, what are the things you're looking to see out of Jalen, maybe in terms of checkpoints, just with this offense, considering it's going to be a bit of a different system and style than he was with Houston?
The system's built around those guys. So your elite players, you build the system around those guys. With Jalen, just give him space. He's so dynamic with the ball in his hands. Just to give him the gaps to play in space, to keep the decision simple. We obviously will have some rim pressure. We can put some pressure on the rim with a roller. And then at times just where his outlets are. So when he needs help and when he picks up the basketball, where his outlets are. I think he can be great on the ball and off the ball as a cutter. And hopefully we'll be able to take advantage of his speed, his overall speed, which is elite, in different ways.
You mentioned developing some of those principles early on. What are some of those principles you want to set forth early?
I think it's the same as I talked about in June. I think it's just now that we know our team, we've kind of refined them a little bit. We are installing our style of play. We want to play fast. We want to play fast to try to gain an advantage. If you don't have an advantage, you want to move bodies to gain an advantage. And once the shot goes up, there's still an opportunity because the offense is not done yet. We're going to play that offensive possession out until they get the rebound or take the ball out of bounds after a make. So our principles are all of it. We're going to play fast. We're going to move. We're going to try to get offensive rebounds, gain extra possessions.
Jordan, when you look at your front court group in particular, what do you make of the potential of that group to invert your offense and get Jalen and Devin off the ball and kind of get dynamic touches in half court?
Yeah, great question. I think I was around a team that can invert a little bit because you have a 6'11" guy that can handle and play make last year. I think we have an opportunity at times to get there. Book's an incredible screener. Off the basketball, he's an incredible screener. He's great at back picks. He's great when he's in any type of action because of how physical guys are with him. It's hard for defenders to take their bodies off of him. So, yeah, we get them down the floor. We obviously want to use their gravity, whether they're spacing or screening. We're building a base with our playmakers first, those guard playmakers first, but we'd love to get to that next layer where, they're more screeners than what they are right now.
When I watched Cleveland last year, I saw some backdoor, like baseline dudes just running wide open for getting the ball for the layup. And how much of that was the pace getting into the offense early, and then how much of it was just on-ball screening getting guys?
I think defining what pace means is important. So some teams just run just to run. We want to run with efficiency. We want to know when our good opportunity is to run the offense, and then when's the opportunities to cut into that space. It's a big thing that it looks like chaos on the outside, or it's hard to scout. It's hard for defenses to know exactly what's going on, but we know exactly what we're doing. So again, we're in the infant stages of it, but I do think you'll see more movement overall with our group.
Mark's diving is going to be a big part of your offense this year. I assume when Jarrett had it really rolling in Cleveland, what were some of the things that were clicking when he was like the full, not only scorer there, but like the gravity threat too?
Yeah, those vertical spacing bigs where you can just throw it up on the rim. J.A. has great hands. He has great touch. Mark is very similar, and that's the advantage. We're looking to gain an advantage. So if we don't have an initial advantage, then we need it. A lot of times that's your 5-man, whether that's off the ball or on the basketball. And then the other advantage is when he sprints to the rim, the defenders have to guard him because you just throw it over the rim and he goes and gets it. So I think Mark is a similar type of player. Those big body, lob catching bigs, hard to come by. And thankfully Mark's able to do that. I think our other bigs can too. We have 4 guys that can do it. They're all lob threats. They're all rim rollers. They all can play downhill. We have 4 guys that can really do that.
You mentioned book screening. It's often like improvisational. For him, he'll just see something right away. How much does that help you as a coach to have your leader of the team doing all those things that you're hoping to see from your offense and all the movement you want to see?
Yeah, it's obviously a great thing to have. I think all the great players do it. They kind of have their gifts, their elite skills. You got to implement it into your own system. Like I said, he's a great off-ball screener. He recognizes the play before the ball even gets across half court, so it's definitely something we look to take advantage of.
Continuing on with the Frontcourt players on offense, I think when people hear spacing, they think about three outside the three-point line. But what about your bigs respacing around that dunker spot and kind of manipulating that action?
Yeah, I think it's a unique skill set to have to know how to score out of the dunker, and also the passes to those guys. It's not easy. We talk a lot about tight windows, spacing, passing. So a lot of it's in the dunker. I also think that they can take up space by being screeners. If someone cracks down on them, they can take up their own space. So just knowing where to go based on the ball, or Jalen's coming to you. If Jalen's coming to you and your man's in the lane, there might be another screen for them even there. So that is a tough thing to coach. But knowing that our 4 bigs are kind of similar and they can all function out of the dunker is something that we've touched on already, but that'll be a work in progress.
When you look at Colin, a guy that was on a 2-way with us last year, what have you seen from him in camp? I know he had kind of that big moment yesterday, closing out practice, and even today, just being out there and being a good competitor. What have you seen from him? Have you been impressed by him at all?
He actually did it again today, y'all. So he did it back-to-back days. I'm not surprised, right? They're that successful in college, fights his way into an NBA roster. It's not really surprising. He just now has the opportunity to go do it. Incredibly smart, tough, gritty, wants to win at all costs. Now he can shoot. I know he's always been able to shoot, but now he can shoot off the dribble. plays off of 2 feet in the lane, which is a big key in today's league. And you're not going to target him on the other end. So he's in a really good place right now. Still a young player. That's what we oftentimes forget. Not with a ton of NBA games under his belt. So he's had a good couple months in this building and a good couple days of camp.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you all.
Thank you.